just got finished the judging on Wednesday, so I'll tell that a little bit later. I'll show the judges and you can see the process and so forth. And as well, we'll have Alex Cabrera of PwC describe a little bit of it, just so you feel good about the judging process. It's intimidating. Some of the judges are so senior that I let myself get a bit intimidated. So that's my own personal problem that I'm working through, but still really fantastic work that they did, and so pleased that everybody is working together on this. I'm just very, very touched. I'll introduce our keynote speaker, we'll call him. Vic Tria. He's currently First Vice President, Head of PLDT Alpha, the corporate business enterprise group of PLDT. And yeah, we've worked with these people for some time now, Vic, and watched Vic move up now, and others, Keith and many others. So pleased to work with him. So please welcome Vic Tria, also Head of the Enterprise Businesses of PLDT Global, President in the United States, UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia. Vic Tria, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Richard. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I am truly honored to be here as we gather for the largest business awards event in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. Before anything else, I'd like to acknowledge and thank all of our partners and sponsors. None of this would be possible without your continued support and generous patronage. Year after year, the Asia CEO Awards brings together the country's most celebrated and illustrious leaders. These men and women have not only achieved great success and made invaluable contributions to our national economic landscape, they've also helped out our country on the global map as a premier business destination, paving the way for global companies to invest in the Philippines. And today, the Philippines remains one of the fastest growing economies in Asia, with investors looking at next wave cities outside Metro Manila, in Cebu, in Davao, even in Bacolod, to plant the roots for ICT hubs. This will provide the vast millennial job market, our digital natives, with opportunities where they can truly showcase their talents as we gear towards a more modern and future-ready Philippines. You know, I'm so amused with this info that I gathered just lately about how tech-savvy and social media occupied our millennials are, our young people. You know, I gathered that the Philippines is now a global leader. We are the global leader in time spent on social media, averaging 4 hours and 17 minutes per day. Kapag ka traffic, in EDSA, maybe 6 hours. So, ubus lahat ng data. But you know, we can use this to our advantage. We have a really tech-savvy young people in our country. Our local franchising sector is set to grow by 10 to 15% this year and 20% by 2020, paving the way for our local entrepreneurs and startups to address constraints in capital. Additionally, according to NEDA, the government plans to finish 35 major projects under its Build, Build, Build initiative by 2022, accelerating the country's overall economic position in the years to come. I'm sure you will all agree that there has never been a more vibrant and exciting time to invest in the Philippines. Although admittedly, the climate of late has been a cause of concern for many. Inflation rate and some political controversies have had effects on the public's perception of the country's economic performance. But in the face of adversity, we must find our courage and push on. All across this room are leaders and innovators who drive our nation forward every day. It falls upon our shoulders to drive our country forward no matter the challenges in our way. Our collective capacity to inspire change and fearlessness amongst the people around us so our country can reach greater heights has never been more critical. It has always been our calling to further strengthen the foundations of the Philippines that is ready and poised to take on the future. And that is evident in our coming together today. On behalf of the PLDT Group, our Head of Enterprise, Joey Hernandez, our Chief Revenue Officer, Eric Alberto, and our Chairman, CEO, Manuel Pangilinan, I thank you for taking the time off your busy schedules to be with us. The challenges that lie before us will be difficult, but nothing great comes from anything easy. Today, we renew our commitment to serve our nation to the best of our abilities, to build this country and move it forward. Once again, welcome to the media launch of the Asia CEO Awards. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Vic. Looking good, right? These PLDT marketing guys, they always look the best. And I gotta say, most people do. Craig Rhines of Sitel, also looking the best. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to go through the sponsors I've been asked to do. We're going to see them. Okay, so title sponsor, PLDT, who we've worked with for many years. I know, yeah, you hear a lot about them, of course. And okay, we're going to go quickly then. Okay, CNN Philippines. So you see them around here. So we're working closely with them. Army, the CEO, a very supportive and nice person. So and in your business, I mean, we want to help each other do well. So if you have some kind of a special thing, we'll try to work with each other to help. Because I know Craig got a lot of, we were just talking there, and he's hiring 1,000 people in the next month or so, I understand. What, 2,000? Really? Wow. So, this is news, right? And should be more publicized, Craig, because there's still a lot of negativity, in the news. So if we focus on promoting the positive, I think we've really got a compelling story. Healthway Medical, represented by Carmi Delian and her group. You see them around in the malls and all over the place. So pleased to have them with us. Okay, ICM, just a bit of background. Represented right here, Carol Roa, and a board of members, name I just skipped me, but they are, I'll just explain ICM. They are probably the largest poverty alleviation group, NGO group in Philippines. Massive projects all across Visayas and other areas, Mindanao and so forth. They get into key areas doing these things. And if you ever want a fascinating, compelling story, talk to them and you'll hear just like bring tears. I attended their annual event in Hong Kong. I know I'm going to take a bit of time on this, but it was so exciting. These rich guys, bankers in Hong Kong, this was their annual fundraising thing, bidding on things, and guys were and gals, out of their own money that they wasn't company money, were donating like $20,000, $50,000, and they would have these people that they helped from Philippines that they would bring up to show some of the work that they were doing. Some of the stories, I'm telling you, every eye of these, bankers who you think of as ruthless type of bloodthirsty, every eye in the room was dripping. I'm telling you, it was really something, the impact that they're having. Okay, please, the next one. Okay, I remit. I know Christine is here. Benson runs the world. You see these things as such a big impact on the nation, the remittances that come in, and I remit is, I can't remember. It's a number of, I think 6% of all remittances in the nation come through this organization. So this is a major player in the world. So really, really pleased to have them. JLL, of course, been with us, a founding sponsor, because they were right from the day one when, the idea was, Philippines wasn't as exciting as it is now, but they actually came forth and said, we're going to, Christoph here now is continuing on that, so very much a pleasure. Caliber, where's our Caliber friends? Okay, Dexter's here, okay. We just had a grand event. This is an HR startup. Well, not a startup, I'm sorry, but it's a fast-growing, this is one of the fastest-growing technology companies in Southeast Asia now. They're raising money, they're growing quickly and so forth in Philippines. So, and they've now started operations in Indonesia and so forth. So even though you may not have heard the name now, or you might think of them as just a little startup, but these companies are exploding. And this is one of a number of examples, but a very good example of one that you're going to be seeing a lot more of. So we're glad to have them with us. Okay. LBC Business Solutions, of course, Jovi Manticon is here, the head of marketing. They've worked with us, and these guys also all these guys talk about is the future of the economy and e-commerce and all these kinds of stuff. So these guys are facilitating all of that, and yeah, big operations, exciting. One thing, always willing to do CSR type of work. Just on a personal level, I don't know, it's too personal, but my son had some little project with his friends collecting books, school books, like really high quality. They got lucky and collected really high quality. You know these university textbooks, really expensive. You know, they're $100, $200 a piece. Beautiful things, and he got big boxes of these things, thousands of them. And then they said, oh my God, how are we going to, this is going to cost, when they found out how much it was going to cost to send it in the Philippines, they almost had to throw them in the garbage. They called up LBC, and they said, sure, we'll deliver them for you, no problem. So just a couple months ago, we're up in Bulacan State University, which is a big 50,000 person or so university, had a big presentation with all of these books, and they're so pleased to have. So really a good group and want to do the right thing. Okay, next please. Okay, Phil-Am Life. Where's our Phil-Am? Okay, these people really want to make an impact. So they're still a little new yet, so we're learning, but they really want to focus on young leaders and opportunities and these kinds of things. So really glad to have them with us. Okay. Regis, of course. I hope I'm not going on too late, but they're good stories, right? So Regis, if you want to see something that is wow, go to they just opened a brand new future of work concept called Spaces, which is, in the old days, well, we all know, you had a little cubicle and so forth. But now the new concept is you work from beautiful spaces where there's couches and someone serving you coffee and these kinds of stuff. So they've got, 2 levels? I think 2 floors of one of the big buildings. I can't remember. Talk to him, and he's going to have an opening next month. So we'll invite everybody, but just go just to see what it's like. It's amazing. And I know we had an event a couple weeks ago, and I don't know how many people said, gee, I want to work here. And I don't know how many resorts you got, but there's quite a few. Because people really see the concept, and especially for, anybody younger than me says, this is where I want to work. Okay, Sitel, we just talked about this. We want to talk about a positive story. This is one you can hear. He just gave me him and Vic and I gave us a big earful about train and so forth. And the future looks good. This guy has been known to be a positive guy, but he gets in and really speaks his mind and so forth. And this is a major organization with, 2025? Moving on to 30 by the sounds of it. Yeah, so very exciting. So a tremendous contributor to the nation. And also, okay, I'll give you one background. This guy, when he first came, he was the first guy, in the industry lore, the first guy just said, I'm going to set up a BPO facility in a shopping center, in a mall. And everybody said, that is the stupidest idea. Everybody knows you go to the office, where the offices are. Who wants to work? It's a stupid. Everybody followed since. And it's now become the standard thing that you build a shopping center and then a couple floors, as many as you can, above, of BPO workers. Because BPO workers love going down and spending their money on whatever young people, and it's an enjoyable thing for them to do. Now, in more remote areas, provincial development, places like Tarlac, Heidi Enriquez is in Puerto Princesa and these places, and he's trying to find these other, because the impact it has, and I'm going on too long, please, but it's such a big industry for me that I really believe in. But the impact it has on these communities, if you go to places like Dumaguete and so forth, where SPI is, and the impact it has, where years ago there was, very little in that town. I don't even know if there was a Jollibee there years ago. Now, Starbucks and McDonald's and beautiful, nice restaurants, and you could bring anybody in the world to say, and they'd be comfortable. Lots of things. So this is the impact it makes. Okay, enough. I won't. Okay, please. SMART, of course. So this is the mobile group of PLDT, and we've already talked about that. So maybe I won't take too much time, but okay, SPI Global, of course, another very high quality IT-focused BPO provider. Celeste Illigan was a key person from the government, from DTI, years ago when the industry was just getting going, and she convinced so many companies to come here, and it was so important because they could see that, okay, this was, they had a representative like Celeste to make them feel comfortable, and so many came in. And so I'm pleased that she was able to work with a high quality provider like this. So glad to have her. Okay, United Neon. Danny is here. So this is one of the largest, or maybe the largest, billboards and other activities. Both the traditional style billboards and now very heavily in electronic billboards. So around, when you know this name now, you will see this around Metro Manila and around across the country. So we're glad to have them. And We Energy, so they just came in. So we're still learning with this, but solar power and other things. So we'll get more. Learn more about them. Okay, our official knowledge partner. So we had PwC, who will have come up in a short time, but a lot of work managing all of these submissions. I don't know, 300 and some, 300, whatever it was, and it's tense. Sometimes people, there's legal things. Some people, you can't lose things. You can't, you got to be careful how. If you say something to one group, you have to be consistent with others. It's, and some people are intense about it. So we're very pleased to have them. Okay. Hotel partner, of course, we've really enjoyed working with Bruce Winton of the Marriott and all of his group. Really, really nice. If you're looking for a place to hold your facility, talk to Rebecca and we can get something worked out for you. Okay, our cocktail partner, Trends and Concepts. They're here. Really nice to have them with us. Okay. Event partner, okay, we spoke about that a lot of the structural things that they're working with us for that. Okay, next. Okay, Board of Judges. So I'll just go through quickly. I'm being motioned. But I gotta tell them about, show them? Okay. So this is why I get a bit intimidated, and I don't know why I let myself doing this, but Cesar Purisma, how many awards he has won for the top finance minister of Asia because of the work that he did? I'm not saying that the whole country was ready to move ahead, but, when he first got in, Philippines was, there was a lot of concerns. People didn't think of it as anyway, now, he brought investment grade rating for all of the major investment companies. It's such an impact. And you can see when you work with these guys, I'm telling you, so senior. Okay, Charito Plaza, she was obviously a highly qualified person. She's kind of busy, Don Feldbaum, former head of the American Chamber. If you know Don, you'll love Don, just a really, really quality guy. Bernie Villegas, of course. He's been on our board since the beginning as well. I don't know, the guy, there's so much that I could say about him, but I know him very well. But former Ambassador Joey Cusha, former head of the central bank and so forth. If you ever come across the guy, really good guy, but once you work with him a bit, he's an intense, no-nonsense guy. You know, there's a line, and if you go across that line, oh God, it's... June Palafox, another guy, travels the world doing all of his architecture stuff and advocacy and so forth. Okay, Mary Faye Zamora. So she was a new judge this year, and most of the time when you're a new judge, you kind of lay low a little bit for the first time until you figure out what's supposed. This is not her. The first category, she charges right in. Well, I think this and I think that, and I'm not so sure about, right away she was contributing in a very senior way. So, and very knowledgeable, of course, about, she's a former head of MAP and she's all kinds of other things she's done. Oscar Sanya's former CEO of IBPAP continues to do well, and then a funny looking guy. Okay, so I think we're, is that done? Okay, so across Asia. And so we called him up and said, because it's a requirement that you have to come to the event. So he said he'd be honored and he's going to attend. So that to me was amazing. And then they said, well, so we talked about various people for the Private Sector Lifetime Contributor Award. And the name they came up with, after many things, we hadn't had many women in the past, I don't think any, and so Mary Faye had interest in a woman. But we talked, it wasn't just because, but we talked about various things. But Tessie C, when you see the list of things that she has done, both from a business perspective, with BDO and her other companies, where she's the key person of the country's largest business group, and the CSR related work that she does. It really is tremendous. And she's agreed. She's honored, she says, and is going to be there at the event. So I'm so glad we'll all get to meet her. I certainly will, and we'll try to bring everybody around and so forth. Okay, so I've talked way over my time, and I got all excited. But okay, I'll welcome up to the stage the chairman CEO of Alex Cabrera of PwC, and a very nice group to work with. Thank you very much, Alex. Please don't talk as long as me, I hope.
I want Richard. Thank you, Richard. Good morning, everyone. So if the Asia CEO Awards is indeed dubbed as the Oscars of the Philippine business, then PwC is probably quite fitted to be your knowledge partner, as we've always done the Oscars. Well, this year, 333 applicants, and we dwindled it down to 128 members of the Circles of Excellence across 14 categories. Now, what we look for in these companies is viability, scalability, and uniqueness. Uniqueness that makes them relevant, not only relevant, uniqueness that makes them relevant and successful as a business enterprise. Now, it's difficult to do this process because whenever these companies make submissions, and I'm not really complaining, I'm giving tips. When you say that when you grew 15% or 50% growth, you don't just say it, you need to back it up with financial statements, because 50% growth is not an opinion, it's based on financials. So when you say that you're the most admired company, or recognized as the most admired company, you need to show us your awards and that award-giving body, because if you're the most admired company for your employees, that doesn't count. And if you say that you're a great company or you're an innovative company, that's a motherhood statement reserved only for mothers. And therefore, you should actually show, and may I say, build a business case to show why you are unique. uniqueness in the product, uniqueness in the business model, uniqueness or novelty of your approach. Now, what we can do as PwC is to gather all this information from the applicant submissions, make follow-on interviews and requests for documents, look at what is socially available information, and even socially available or officially available information about court cases that may have some impact on the awards that you're vying for or your credibility as a company. But that is probably the most mechanical part of the judging process. Because when we drop this trimmed down circle of excellence to the judges, the labor of love comes in. The judging process takes a total of 3 days. And the judges, of course, participate based on their wisdom, their backup knowledge, and their own expertise on the subject matter. Of course, they do it as a labor of love for the country. And it's not easy to be a judge because you're going to summon all your backup experience and technical or otherwise. Now, why is it worth building up your business case? Why is it worth applying in the first place for the Asia CEO Awards? Well, if you are recognized as an awardee of the Asia CEO, your market presence, your brand immediately elevates in the marketplace. Not only does that happen for your brand, your employees become inspired. And for you as the CEO or the entrepreneur, if you're not inspired, then you will be positively pressured to live up to that level of recognition, which is the Asia CEO Awards. So looking forward to the awards night, and good morning, everyone.
Thank you very, very much. Alex Cabrera from PwC, ladies and gentlemen, breaking it down for us what the judging process is like. Thank you as well to Richard Mills. It's very, very obvious how he works closely and how he knows intimately our partners for the Asia CEO Awards. And so, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to call on each sponsor representative to tell us more about the 14 award categories and find out what each one is particularly about. It will be followed by a short video of all the members of the Circle of Excellence. And as you already heard, it's been a 2-day intense deliberation from our judges. And finally, we are pleased to reveal the members of the Circle of Excellence to you. First, we begin with CNN.
Award category, Executive Leadership Team of the Year. At the heart of every successful company is a great leadership team that is able to withstand all trials and call all the right shots. The CNN Executive Leadership Team of the Year is an award given to the management team of profit-oriented organization that enabled its company to achieve important success within or outside the Philippines. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this award are teams with exceptional leadership skills, with efforts and projects that result to significant financial input or international recognition. These teams are pioneers of new products or techniques that have led to the growth of their company. And the members of the Circle of Excellence are Acquire BPO, Bounty Agro Ventures, Damosa Land, Intelenet Global Services Limited, Light Rail Manila Corporation, Mega World Corporation, Cytel Philippines Corporation, TOSHIBA Information Equipment Philippines Inc., and VXI Global Holdings Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations and a round of applause for the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Executive Leadership Team of the Year category. For next up, we have Healthway.
A very healthy afternoon to everyone. It is such a blessing and a gift to work for a company that takes care of its employees. And Healthway Medical believes that all companies should promote healthy lifestyle and wellness in the workplace. And this is why we have the Wellness Company of the Year Award. The members of the Circle of Excellence for Healthway Medical Wellness Company of the Year are those who have designed programs and activities and organizational policies that created impact in employee engagement, in productivity, and overall profitability. Healthway Medical is privileged to announce the members of the Circle of Excellence for Wellness Company of the Year. And these are, congratulations, Chevron Holdings, Genpact Services LCC Philippines Branch, HGS HINDUJA Global Solutions, HP Philippines, HSBC Global Service Center Philippines, Johnson & Johnson Philippines, Smart Communications Inc., Teletech, TOSHIBA Information Equipment Philippines Inc.
With that, congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Wellness Company of the Year category. For the next one, we have ICM.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And Richard, I used to be one of those ruthless bankers you're talking about, but I confessed my sins since then. The International Care Ministries, or ICM, CSR Company of the Year Award is a special distinction that recognizes and appreciates an enterprise's effort and commitment to build healthier, more responsible, more informed, and prosperous communities through its generous investments in both time and resources to push community development programs that reach our underprivileged Filipino brothers and sisters and teach them the correct concepts covering values, health, livelihood, environmental protection, and awareness, as well as youth development. Once again this year, we enthusiastically congratulate the members of the Circle of Excellence for the ICM CSR Company of the Year Award, as those organizations whose sustainable corporate social responsibility programs bring transformation and hope into the lives of the communities that they serve. We congratulate each member enterprise for making it into the Circle of Excellence, and we look forward to hailing the winner on October 16th, 2018. Maraming salamat at mabuhay kayong lahat. And the members of the Circle of Excellence are Astoria Hotels and Resorts, Development Bank of the Philippines, Floor, HSBC Global Service Center Philippines, Johnson & Johnson, Microsoft Philippines, the Primer Group of Companies, Reed Elsevier Philippines, Republic Cement Services Incorporated, Smart Communications, TELUS International Philippines Incorporated, Unilever Philippines, White & Case Global Operations Center, and Wipro. Thank you.
Congratulations to the member of the Circle of Excellence for the CSR Company of the Year. For the next category, we have I Remit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am here to present the award category with a heart, the I Remit Heart for OFW's company. OFWs are the most hardworking and resilient people that we know, and they play a huge part in contributing to the economic growth of the country. The IRIMATE Incorporated Heart for OFWs Company Award is an award given to a private or public corporation that implements specific programs that produce a positive and significant effect to Filipinos overseas workers and their families. The members of the Circle of Awards of the Circle of Excellence Award are companies who focus on initiatives and projects to better the lives, working conditions, financial status, and well-being of OFWs and their families. And I present to you the members of the Circle of Excellence for this award. And they are Dole Seafront Crewing Manila Incorporated, Epsilon Maritime Services Incorporated, Lamudi Philippines Incorporated, LBC Express, and PLDT Global. Thank you very much.
That was, again, for the Heart of OFWs of the Year. For the next category, we have JLL.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, pleasure to be on the stage to introduce the GLL Executive Expatriate of the Year. Why we believe that this is also a very important category. First, in GLL, we are very diverse and we have a lot of mobility across our company globally. But for the Philippines, and I think this is our 9th year, we believe from day one that to progress rapidly, to bring international expertise into the country and then tap the international market out of the Philippines, you need expertise, skill that are coming from other countries and other type of environment. We have been sponsoring this category, some outstanding nominees in the previous year and winners, and we want to support the Asia CEO Forum and the Philippine development in general. We, again, in GLL, attach a lot of importance of having the right mix, the right diversity to achieve our business objective, and being in the Philippines to also contribute greatly to the Philippine business objectives. The nominees of the Circle of Excellence for the Executive of the Year award are Arthur Novak from Teletech, Greg Rines from Cytel, Coleridge Shelley from Wabag, Alec Toth from Concentrix, Jard Morrison from VXI, Mark Linzel from Transcom, Pushkar Misra from HGS, Raul Hora from AXA Philippines, Romolo Valentino from IDC Telpinas Development Corporation. These are the executive nominees of the year. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Expatriate Executive of the Year. For the next category, please welcome Caliber.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dexter with Caliber. Caliber is a technology company that cares very deeply about candidates, and we build technology to connect them with the best employers. So as a former startup, as a former recipient of the Most Innovative Company of the Year award, we're actually very proud to stand here as maybe one of the youngest companies, I don't know, to present the Caliber Top Employer of the Year award. The award is given to a company that has demonstrated Filipino or mixed expatriate talent that performs at the highest standards. The members of the Circle of Excellence Award have improved and showcased both local and international excellence because of their outstanding human resource leadership and their commitment to employees' health and well-being. These companies also highlight talent development, leadership and employee programs that cultivate employees to become better individuals. And I'm proud to announce the Circle of Excellence Award for the Top Employer of the Year. Acquire BPO. Concentrix. Integrated Microelectronics. AMKOR Philippines. Johnson & Johnson Philippines. Synchrony Global Services Philippines Inc. Teleperformance Philippines. TELUS International Philippines Inc. Transcom Worldwide Philippines. Tunisi Technological Services Philippines. And VXI Global Holdings. Thank you.
Congratulations to the member of the Circle of Excellence for the Top Employer of the Year. For the next category, please welcome LBC Business Solutions.
Good afternoon, everyone. The LBC Business Solutions SME Company of the Year is given to a small or medium-sized enterprise that is non-subsidiary, independent, and employs between 10 to 500 employees. But despite their size, the members of the Circle of Excellence for this category are companies who are able to go toe-to-toe with bigger organizations. They enhance processes, maximize productivity, enter new markets, and expand their brand, leading to international recognition or local expansion. As more individuals find the courage and the capability to offer new products and services in the market, these small, medium enterprises become more and more equipped to encourage competitiveness, excellence in their field and in their field of play, and all players in our industries and the company in the industries have to level up. Congratulations to the members of Circle of Excellence. Aficionado Perfumes Central. Everrise C3. Fly Spaces. Ital Pilipinas Development. Philippines Urban Living Solutions Inc. RCD Land Inc. 7AD. Sprout Solutions. True Money Philippines Inc.
And with that,
Thank you.
congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the SME Company of the Year. Still more categories to come. This time we have Philam Group.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Tina Ledesma, Head of Culture and Engagement at Philam Group. The youth of today are getting bolder and more aggressive, and many are taking the reins and responsibilities in their own companies. Some even start their own brands as early as they get out of college and display great leadership prowess and business savvy for their age. The Philam Group Young Leader of the Year is a leader or entrepreneur not older than 35 years old, but has accomplished remarkable achievements that has pushed his brand or company to local or international recognition. The members of the Circle of Excellence for the Young Leader category are young professionals who have managed specific situations or projects where they led a team to a higher level of growth, achievement, or recognition. Their peers look up to them and validate their contributions to the company and the country. I'm very happy to present the members of the Circle of Excellence for Philam Group Young Leader of the Year. Christian Lim of Microsoft Philippines. Danielle Alexander of Convergia Asia Incorporated. Henry Mott Munoz of Educacion.ph. Jacqueline T. Gutierrez of Allure Asia Incorporated. James Alba of Vendo Corporation. Mika F. Tan of MFT Group of Companies, Patrick Gentry of Sprout Solutions, Patrick Glendon of Bolton Remote International, Pauline Pangan of AF Digital, and Tony Ennis of First Circle. Thank you.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Young Leader of the Year. For the next category, we have Regis.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is with great pride that we at Regis are now with our newly opened spaces, encourage, groom, facilitate entrepreneurs to move forward and become successful in the Philippines and beyond, not least within ASEAN. The Regis Entrepreneur of the Year Award is given to the organization that achieved significant business growth and expansion across the ASEAN region during the current calendar year. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this award are organizations that demonstrated a commitment to introducing and boosting ASEAN economic capabilities within the region, that they have the ability to harness opportunities for business expansions across, and are part of the effort to introduce Philippines as the next economic business hub. And the members of the Circle of Excellence are Yusaldosero and from Dr. Carl E. Belita of Carl Belita Review Center. Jean-Henri D. Loya of PGA Loya Incorporated. Joel S. Cruz of Aficionado Perfume Central Affirmative Company Incorporated. Carla Stefan Singson of P-Rep KSS Events and Promotions. Mario Berta of Fly Spaces. Paul Rivera of Calibra Technology Ventures. And finally, Robbie Antonio of Revolution Pre-Crafted. Thank you.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Entrepreneur of the Year. For the next category, please welcome Saitel.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. And this event just keeps getting fancier and fancier every year. We've got ferns and vases. It's very exciting. No, it's truly an honor. We really appreciate the ability to participate in such a great event, and thank you again to Rebecca and Richard. The Service Excellence Company of the Year Award. This is really something that's very near and dear to our hearts at Saitel. The success of any service-oriented company is in its capability to not only win the trust of its clients, but make sure that they're happy. The winner of the Saitel Service Excellence Company of the Year is an organization that is able to put service at its core and, with its management talents, perform with the highest standards of customer satisfaction. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this award are companies that demonstrate a strong orientation towards customer relationship management and long-standing partnerships with their clients. These are organizations that know what their customers want and need and are able to show customized processes and services and present satisfied and loyal clients. Being in the outsourcing services industry ourselves, Saitel understands the demands and the rigor that services companies go through on a daily basis. Therefore, it gives us much pride to recognize businesses that continue to raise the bar in service excellence. And the members of the Circle of Excellence are 24/7 Customer Philippines, Inc., Acquire BPO, Advanced World Systems, Inc., AMKOR Philippines, LBC Express, Sutherland, Teletech, and VXI Global Holdings Philippines.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Service Excellence Company of the Year. For our next category, we have Smart Enterprise.
Thank you. It is truly my honor to announce the nominees for the Global Filipino Executive of the Year. At the helm of any successful company is a successful Filipino who directs its course. The Smart Enterprise Global Filipino Executive of the Year aims to recognize these Filipino executives from the business, government, and academic circles who have driven their brands and companies to international success and recognition. A great leader is what defines a great team and ultimately what makes a great company and country. And the members of the Circle of Excellence are Alexander Gamboa of AGNP, Alfredo Pascual of University of the Philippines, Conrado Diaz of CDJ Group Construction, Dennis Uy of Phoenix Petroleum Philippines, Inc., Jean Henry Louvillier of PJ Louvillier Group of Companies, Jeffrey Stewart Go of J&J Philippines, and Ronald Daniel Ricofort Mascarenas of Bounty Agro Ventures. Thank you.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Global Filipino Executive of the Year. For the next category, we have SPI Global.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to all of the companies who made it to the Circle of Excellence. I would like to say a few words about it. This is an addition or an innovation to this event, which I think should be very much welcome. Circle of Excellence means something really great, and therefore I would like to see that even after the awards, these companies who made it to the Circle of Excellence will get together through the initiatives of Asia CEO Awards so that together we can use the Asia CEO Awards as our launching pad to the regional and global arena of showcasing our strengths and capabilities as Philippine companies. With that, I'll go to the official script. The SPI Global Technology Company of the Year is awarded to a corporate organization, an academic or startup company that focuses on information and communications technology, biological sciences, mathematics, or engineering. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this year's Technology Company of the Year are organizations whose technical operations are conducted at world-class standards and whose performances are comparable or even better to similar businesses in other countries. And may I just share, to those who are not familiar with SPI Global, we are a 38-year-old company established in the Philippines. We started as a data entry company. Now we are positioned as the biggest content technology provider globally. We are the biggest in terms of employment and revenue. Recently, we were recognized as one of the 25 hottest artificial intelligence companies in Asia Pacific, and this is something that Filipino companies can do, and therefore we are very proud to be sponsoring this category, whose members of the Circle of Excellence we should now present. Advanced World Systems, Advanced World Solutions. AMKOR Technology Philippines Incorporated. Converge ICT Solutions Incorporated. Cobina Business Analytics and Solutions Incorporated. First Circle. FINTQNOLOGIES Corporation by PLDT. Freelancer.com. AMKOR Philippines Incorporated. PCCW Solutions Philippines Incorporated. Smart Communications. Sprout Solutions. TOSHIBA Information Equipment Philippines Incorporated. WABAG. And those are the members of the SPI Global Technology Company of the Year Circle of Excellence. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Technology Company of the Year. Still have more. Next we have United Neon.
Good morning. United Neon is delighted to present to you the Most Innovative Company of the Year award. Behind many successful companies is the desire for continuous improvement, constant development, and the ability to innovate. The Most Innovative Company of the Year award is given to an organization that introduced an innovation, whether a product, service, or process, that have led the growth of that company and the development of the industry. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this award are all pioneers in their field of expertise, in their fields, and have introduced changes in the companies to gain measurable competitive advantage over the competitors. They are also committed to the development of the nation's economic capability through technological advancement and innovation. And the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Most Innovative Company of the Year are Bounty Agro Ventures, FINTQNOLOGIES Corporation, Fly Spaces, Food Flow Inc., Frutas Holdings Incorporated, Live Well Corporate Solutions Inc., and True Money Philippines Incorporated.
Congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Most Innovative Company of the Year. For the final awards category, for We Energy, we have trustee of the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication, formerly from GMA Network, and a judge at the CMMA Awards. A round of applause, please, for Mr. Rod Cornejo.
Good morning, mga kapuso. I'm just pitching in for We Energy. As we gather right now, Mother Nature is bashing North Carolina, Northern Luzon, and other parts of the country. Only shows that Mother Nature is mad at mankind for neglecting the environment. Hence, this category is quite important. With global warming an ever-present reality, more companies should be committing themselves to creating and promoting sustainable programs and processes. The We Energy Green Company of the Year is an award given to a corporate or non-corporate organization that demonstrated strong leadership and participation in sustainability and environmental protection programs initiatives in the Philippines. The members of the Circle of Excellence for this award are driving real change in their business processes and practices by incorporating initiatives to save and protect the environment and communities in the area. These organizations promote volunteerism and serve as an inspiration for other organizations to leave a strong, positive impact in the community that they serve. Ladies and gentlemen, The members of the Circle of Excellence are Aspen, Philippines, Fostering Education and Environment for Development, Gandang Kalikasan Incorporated, Genpact Services LLC Philippines Branch, HSBC Global Service Center Philippines, I Love, Sun Asia Energy Incorporated, and not but Union Bank of the Philippines, Head of Sustainability. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
With that, congratulations to the members of the Circle of Excellence for the Green Company of the Year category. A round of applause, please, to all of this year's members of the Circle of Excellence. This time, shall we call back all of our sponsor representatives to please come on stage for a quick Q&A with our audience members, especially those from the press. So once again, making their way on stage are our sponsor representatives per award category. This is the moment we would like to open the floor for questions, especially from our friends from the media and the online community. Should you have any questions regarding each particular award category, now would be the time to ask it. And to facilitate our Q&A, we call back our chairman, Richard Mills.
Thank you very much. I hope some people can ask questions. I know it's people can't always think. Oh, good.
Anybody?
questions?
Question
Okay.
here. We have a question here for Healthway Medical Wellness Company of the Year. What are some of the key activities and benefits do companies should be providing for their employees to make them feel that the company cares for them?
Maybe a standard?
Maybe a microphone.
There you go.
Okay, good.
What exactly are you looking for? Thank you.
It's actually the judges who really decided on the criteria. But generally, we look for activities that are sustained. These are programs that are sustained to engage employees and to promote a balanced and healthy lifestyle. So this should be a comprehensive program that connects with the employees, and that can be measured in terms of productivity, punctuality, presence in the workplace, and overall contribution. This goes beyond the traditional HMO benefit or annual physical exam. This should be comprehensive in a sense that employees are well taken care of, and it promotes total well-being. I hope I got it.
Thank you.
Question here from Junco Balmeo.
Hi, this is for Caliber. So, what are the challenges of working with and handling a huge team? What kind of resources or capabilities are you looking for in a top employee of the year nominee to measure their capability to manage a huge workforce?
For Caliber.
Could you repeat the first part of your question again? Sorry.
What are the challenges of working with and handling a huge team?
In handling a huge team?
Yes.
Okay. So I think one of the major differences is that the shift has happened already in the workforce towards a generational and value shift. The millennial generation has become and is increasingly going to become the majority of the workforce here in the Philippines, particularly in Southeast Asia. We see this firsthand as Caliber is a talent matching platform that tries to attract candidates to the most relevant jobs. We see that here in the Philippines and Indonesia. I think that the nature of work, the values and expectations of millennials are actually quite different from the previous generations, and they will be different from the generation that's in school right now. And that's kind of scary because we just got adopted to millennial work trends now. The Gen Zs are completely different. What are some of those differences? I know that this is probably a well-treaded topic for particularly those in HR, but millennials, first and foremost, are engaging and are looking for jobs, even here in the Philippines, where they can learn first. And they care about what they can learn, even as much as they care about compensation. So I'm not saying it's more important than compensation, it's equally important. So given the same compensation level, a millennial will choose to work for a company where they can learn the fastest and the most. Secondly, is that the values of an employee who's a millennial, they see it as needing to resonate and connect with the values and the vision for the company. Now, this is not necessarily just talking about the values that are articulated on a website or a marquee on a wall. This is the culture and the values that is lived daily throughout the part of the organization. Now, going back to what kind of capabilities we need, and also the challenges of handling a large team, one other thing that I mentioned, because it has an impact on operations. This is more work-life balance related. Flexibility for millennials is more important, or is right after learning and compensation. Flexibility is the next thing that they care about. So that has a direct operation towards being able to handle flexible work time, to run a company that's very focused on achieving outcomes and objectives, and less so focused on kind of the nature in which the work gets done. So those are some of the shifts that we're seeing as a company. Those are certainly the things that we see happening in the millennial generation. And I think the positive note here is that we do see the employers, particularly those that are around this room and those that are in the Philippines, adapting to this very quickly. They care about this generation and their values. So that's something that's very important to see.
Thank you very much. More questions from the audience?
Hold on, there's a question here from Lottie Abad for Philam.
Okay, so they say that what older leaders have the younger ones don't is the experience and wisdom that comes only with age. So how do young leaders subvert this stereotype, and what is the advantage of leading a brand or a team at an early age?
That's a good question.
All right, it's a good question, tough one. But it's actually we can very much relate, because film life has been in the industry for 71 years. And that's actually what we're going through right now. We have baby boomers, we have Gen X, we have millennials, and now we've actually relaunched our brand, a new brand, to be more youthful. That's why we're very excited to be presenting the Young Leader of the Year award, by living better. So very much focusing on the youth. We always say that it's not about the generation, but it's how we engage employees and develop people. So we always focus on the customer, we focus on people. When we say we focus on people, that's people, capabilities, and culture. Part of that is enabling them. Development is very important, alignment is very important. As Dexter had mentioned earlier, for the millennials, it's very important for them to have meaning in the work that they do. So to find meaning in that's alignment in Film Group, that's very important. Understanding, what my work, how my work contributes, to the company's vision, company's mission, and how we contribute to the company. So we're very happy as well that the theme for this year is Let's Build the Country, and it's very much aligned with our mission. So developing, enabling, and having the proper model, proper structure, and making sure that each employee is engaged. So that's how we develop leaders as early as when they come in.
Thank you very, very much.
Good.
Question here from Monsi Serrano for Regis.
For Mr. Lars. The challenge right now, personally, I don't want to tag, let's say, millennials are like this or like that. I would personally, I've been very, very lenient with the millennials. I don't want to put them in a box. But for Lars, you've been supporting the entrepreneurs. What do you think are the challenges that you are going to encounter, or what are the needs what are the things that our entrepreneurs need to do in order for them to succeed? Thank you.
Well, first of all, and I would like to include the millennials also to continue on that note. Millennials, young entrepreneurs, Filipinos, are very, very progressive, more so than in any other nation that I can think of. Millennials are, it can easily be argued, more successful than perhaps their experience and their ages are justifying. So what is it that they need? They need access to, say, baby boomers, old stuffy baby boomers like myself, who have been around the block a little bit longer than they have. They need to tap into our knowledge, our experience, because I know that they are the most successful generation that I have come across since I entered the workforce way too many years ago. And that's basically why we are very proud to sponsor this recognition for the Circle of Excellence among the nominated finalists, entrepreneurial companies, and eventually the winner of the Entrepreneur Company of the Year.
Okay, thank you. Another here from Donna of WhatsApp Pilipinas.
Hello, ayan. Good afternoon. For LBC, what is your, okay, for LBC, can you answer, sir? What do you consider SME? Their income or their, as a whole, as a company? How do you criteria your award?
Well, there are two types. If you go to the DTI, you can classify them by the labor force or the workforce, number of employees that they have, or through their capitalization. Again, if you go with the numbers of the DTI, whether micro, small, medium, that's almost 900,000 companies in the Philippines. And that's the pool that we believe is going to be powering the Philippines in many, many years to come. They just need to be more efficient, more productive, and find their expertise so they can challenge into the large enterprise group.
Okay, any more questions from the crowd? Okay,
Yes,
here.
yes. Oh, one of our speakers, yes.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As a member of media, we are trained to ask controversial questions. So if you don't mind, considering the present situation in our country, where there's economic, social, political problems, what kind of trait a CEO should have to be able to address all of this? In short, what kind of CEO can survive in our country? Capis? Anybody can answer. Thank you.
Who would like
Sorry,
to take
Richard.
this
Good
one?
question. No, good question.
Thank you, Mr. Rod
Cornejo.
Cornejo, for that wonderful question. I think so many values are required of a CEO, but something that most CEOs really take for granted is one, humility, and the other one is self-awareness. When you lack self-awareness, you don't try, there's also a lack of introspection. When you lack introspection, then you would only rest on your laurels, and you will not look forward and not even look towards the rest of the organization. Pretty much self-awareness is something that some people would say, yes, I have it, but actually they don't. So I think self-awareness is understated, and humility, of course.
Okay.
If I may.
Go on.
You know, yesterday I was with one of the top conglomerates in the country. We're doing a review of their 5-year plan. And this guy is a pioneer in the industry, but he said, I need to understand technology. All right? So for me, as a CEO, you must be tech savvy at this point. If you are not, you must study and understand, because technology levels the playing field. If you see fintech companies coming to the country, these are led by young people, or those guys with those that are comfortable on technologies, and they are so confident that they can compete with established banks here. So for me at this point, there's a lot of opportunity if you're comfortable with technologies. You have to, as a CEO, even as an SME, as an entrepreneur,
That's why we are hiring young people. The reason we're hiring young people, because we know they can help us on technologies. But hey, even if we are at age 40s or 50s or 60s, you can still understand and try to take advantage of technology. I think that's what we need to do. As I've said earlier, the Filipinos are so tech savvy and so comfortable in social media. We are the global leader as far as time spent on social media, more than 4 hours a day. So this is your market. And because of that, even Filipinos can go out of the Philippine market, even cover Southeast Asia, even cover Asia, even the US with technologies. So I would encourage everyone to seek knowledge on technologies and how this will help your companies.
Okay, question.
Excuse me, just one more point there. I think the question has a little more depth to that than just knowing the qualities of CEOs. We know the qualities of CEOs, but I think what makes that question complicated is that under the circumstances that the Philippines are today, what will make you a good CEO? And I think that it sort of goes beyond the traditional qualities of CEOs. And I think in the Philippines, to help you navigate these changes, you need to have a strong relationship in the industry and also in government. Because the changes that are happening, if you just look at it internally, you might not be able to make a sound decision because you don't have all of the information that you need. So I think that these CEOs will learn from the experiences and thoughts and insights of other CEOs in the industry and also, executives in government. And therefore, I think in this day and age in the Philippines, that is important.
Okay.
Well, perhaps if I could ask one question, because we have a very diverse, industries.
May I
Sorry.
just
Okay,
add,
go. Sorry.
Richard. I will assume that the CEO, the candidate for CEO is already well-versed, experienced, educated, and all. And I think that there are two qualities that a CEO must have in order to, as you said, navigate us towards a common goal, towards that of success. I think that it will have to be that of will, your strong will to initiate change, and a heart in order to be able to feel. And in the amidst all of these controversies, if you have the will and the heart, I think these are two qualities that a CEO must have.
Sure.
Very quickly, I'll just add up to that. For me, it's just 3P. Number one is purpose, and it was mentioned earlier. The leader should have a very clear purpose. Why is he doing this? For companies, it's not like just getting the paycheck every 15th and 30th. So the purpose should be very clear. Next should be the passion. It's the heart of the leader. The third and the most important thing is the people to back the leader up. If the leader is good and there's no good people around the leader, there will be no success. So just the very basic things.
Thank you for that. From Girly here for ICM.
Good afternoon. For ICM, CSR Company of the Year Award, my question is, how important is CSR in our organization measurement of success, whether big or small enterprise?
Thank you for the question, Girly. Let me answer the question, first of all, from the standpoint of ICM itself. At ICM, we are focused not just on poverty, but on ultra-poverty. And, poverty is this big, mushy, squishy concept. It's highly, highly complex. And arguably, some people would argue is probably the single biggest problem that this world has, or it's the source of all of the problems in this world. And at ICM, what we try to do is, the tagline at ICM is "Hope is the answer," and it sounds like a pithy old phrase, but it's important because the current UN standard for poverty in the Philippines is roughly 60 pesos a day per person, which means if you make less than that, you're considered poor. The median income of an ICM beneficiary is 24 pesos per day. So if we can make our beneficiaries poor, we've succeeded. Because if we double their income, they're still poor, but they doubled their income. So to answer directly the question of the importance of CSR, and these are some of the principles that we try to live by at ICM, and we find that our greatest engagement with corporates with very active CSR programs is due to the fact that we have common purpose. We think that the mark of a successful CSR program at the company is one that has clarity of purpose, precisely because poverty is such an amorphous and gargantuan problem that anybody who develops a program has to have clarity of purpose. They have to be focused. You have to be able to measure it, right? You could do good, but if you can't measure it, how do you know how much good you did? And we're very big on measurement at ICM. It has to be impactful. It has to be big, however you define big to be. It could be big in your community, it could be big in your area of expertise, but it has to be impactful the way you define it. And I think that the final, and I'm very big on this last point, is CSR has to be pervasive within your company. I personally dislike active CSR programs that are purely the domain of the foundation. If you are XYZ company and XYZ Foundation as a successful CSR program, but XYZ employees, senior management aren't even involved in it, I consider that a failure. Corporate social responsibility is the responsibility of every single employee. And I've said all of this because I'm not a judge, so I can tell you what my criteria is, but certainly if I had any way of convincing judges to think about this, I would try to measure that. How pervasive is the CSR effort within that particular company? It could be highly successful on the outside, but if you're not changing the lives of your own employees, then I think it's still not successful. I hope that helps.
That's a good one. And I can tell you, well, Alan Coe of PwC, I don't know if he's able, but yes, this is, right? We go through this a lot, and that is one of the focuses in the criteria is employees involvement and at all levels and so forth. Yes.
Okay, a phone-in question for Saitel. What's your observation on the changes in the level of customer service in the Philippines from the early 2000s to today?
Okay.
Well, I think it's matured significantly. In the early days of the development of the IT BPM industry in the Philippines, you had a very small group of management and executives that had experience in this space, and many of them were imports. You know, they may be Filipino, but they'd worked overseas and have come back. And I think what we've seen is that the one of the true gifts of that exists within the Philippines and in Filipino people is this culture of service. So there's already this very strong service culture that exists here, but I think it's taken a good 15 to 20 years to mature that experience. And so today, I can say honestly, and I think if you ask anyone that works within our business or works in any service business, the level of service quality of our Filipino employees actually exceeds by many measures what we're seeing in other markets like the U.S., the UK, Australia, New Zealand, even India. We see consistently that when comparing voice of the customer satisfaction scores, NPS, etc., the Philippines centers and employees really rate in the in the top quartile, and I think it's just it's a great testament to the fact that this environment now is actually quite mature, high quality, and it's why I'm still extremely bullish. And we're at Sitel, we're hiring like crazy right now. And if I can just make one other point here, which I think is really critical, because it wouldn't be a Asia CEO event if I didn't make this one plead. It's all about countryside development. And so the other big advantage that has happened is that the talent is not just in Metro Manila anymore. The talent now is all over the country. And so we are seeing this explosion of many Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, those that were referred to as next wave cities, that now are also operating at a very high level of quality because we are seeing the investments going into the countryside. And we just need to keep doing that.
If I could take more from what Craig just said, because with this event, this is one of our things too that we want to really focus on is well, not provincial locations isn't the right word, but spreading it across the country. They're coming, but in your own organizations, if you can help us to promote the event, in Davao, Cebu, and so forth. We're getting nominations, but not as many as we would like. Naturally, we want, and like Craig says, there's so much opportunity across. So work on that, and as well, what Javi also and I talked about was small and mid-sized companies and entrepreneurs. Often they're kind of timid, or they're maybe they don't feel comfortable with their documentation. That PwC, they're pretty strict these days on what's submitted. Has to be credible. But if we can promote these things, because this is where we, the event is meant to promote these companies, our sponsors, and the people, the nominations. So I don't want to take over. I know I'm getting my thing, but could we just? And Craig is very bullish on the economy and so forth, and we have such a diverse group. Could we go through each one and just say, what do you think about the economy and so forth? Is it a good story, or you hear this inflation and all these concerns, drug wars? What do you see overall? Is it a positive story, or is there some concerns? What's everybody think? One word. More than one word.
Yes. Well, there is definitely some cause for concern. But again, when you look at the numbers on the SMEs, the companies and the large enterprise, we're still all fundamentally sound and still growing and doing good. So it's just really a matter of some of our political leaders to keep things stable. And I think we are still in the region, the Philippines, a place to invest and grow.
It's more fun in the Philippines. I actually don't want to be anyplace else.
That's true. He says it.
Well, the two key issues right now of concern is obviously the depreciation of the peso relative, especially to the US dollar, and the other issue is inflation. But I think it is a natural balance that is being created as a result, and very predictably so, of not least build. And I'm very also optimistic and even bullish in my forecast for our own company and investments on that note.
Well, I'm very optimistic. The positive outweighs the negative. I'm sure there are a lot of concerns. The industries are growing. The banking industry is growing 11%, retail industry growing 9%. The BPO industry, though single digit this year, the forecast is that it will grow double digit again next year, and hopefully $40 billion industry by 2020. And PLDT is expanding. We're putting up our facilities across the country. And the government is on spending spree. So they're spending a lot of, they have more than a 7 trillion of budget by 2021. So really significant. So there's a build program that will help create infrastructure that will support the growth that we're seeing from so many industries. So I see a lot of positive things that will happen, and plus the fact that we have a tech-savvy millennials or workforce. So we have all of the ingredients. It's the right equation. So I'm sure the Philippines will go far, and we will leapfrog in the next few years.
The Filipinos cannot be separated from the economy of the country. When I think about Filipinos, I think about our resiliency. And even if we're low now in terms of economy because of the inflation, if we're down, there's no way but up. So yes, I'm optimistic about the Philippine economy.
Optimistic, taking 1 or 2 points. Regional growth is there. We're touring a lot of potential prospect outside Metro Manila. And I think there is a strong belief that the infrastructure will improve, that the Build program will have an impact on other areas than Metro Manila, or Davao, or Cebu. This is one. Workforce. I come from a country where English is not the first language, and I come from a country where we are behind on the technology side and the customer service side. Keep doing the same. There are macro indicators. I think they were there 20, 30, 40 years ago. It has not prevented the country to grow, and I don't think so this will stop the country to grow. Saying that, we need to be a bit more careful in navigating some of the obstacles.
From an employment point of view, at any given time, we see 55,000 jobs, unique positions that are posted in the Philippines online, and that's only online advertised positions. And for about 20% of those positions, they're hiring multiple headcount for one position, particularly for the high volume employers. So from an employment point of view, it's growing, it continues to grow. I do want to kind of see one area in which I think it's both an opportunity and a risk, and perhaps a solution. I know it's more than a word. It's in the area of technical skills. These skills change very fast from a month to month. And what we're seeing right now is that companies need to adapt towards actually being able to screen for the foundations, but also to train. Because we see a mistake that many companies make over and over again is that they're looking for people with experience in a particular technology, whether it's a coding framework or a specific kind of area. But the school system will never catch up to the speed at which technology will change. Like PHP was in vogue 3 years ago, Ruby on Rails 2 years ago, now it's React.js, so it just a matter of 3 years. So I think that one of the key things to keep an agile workforce, a more productive workforce going, is that companies need to think about their learning and development strategy, not one for the sake of their own company, but then also for the development of the workforce as a whole.
Our industry is expected to grow, the BPO industry. It may not be as fast as the previous years, but it will still grow. Our company also is in that same trend. Having said that positive thing, there are also concerns because of the effects of Train 1 that has affected many of the companies, and also the uncertainties that are brought about by Train 2, the Trabajo bill that's now being discussed in the lower house and certainly in the Senate. So there is an industry-wide concern about changes in the incentives regime. This is something that we hope will not significantly affect the industry. So we are trying to make sure that the proper parties hear the plea of the industry to make sure that our projection for the industry of growing by 100,000 jobs a year will continue to happen, and that the position of the Philippines in the global BPO map continues to remain.
I will speak using the OFWs as my backdrop, and given their own challenges and the sacrifices they have to make for their loved ones, is the present economy or inflation a cause of concern for them? Oh, certainly. But as a people, we Filipinos are survivors, and we have one gift actually that carries us through all of these challenges, and it's our sense of humor. That's why even amidst the flood, You know that, sir, when you cover floods and all that stuff. You see them waving at the camera. What else can I say? The sense of humor of every Filipino actually will see us through.
Very well said. All of the above. No, but two things. Number one, Filipinos are very resilient people. So despite the challenges in the inflation, the train law, and everything, we are here to adapt and we are here to fight. So that's number one. We have very high adversity quotient. Number two, there's Asia CEO, who's really helping the country, gathering all the key opinion leaders to really work together to build this country. More than enough reason to hope.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to say that I'm very optimistic. Imagine we have 14 companies here. We're all here to help. One trait of a Filipino, and it's not translated in English, no translation in English, is malasakit. So we all have that as Filipinos. I'm very optimistic. And for Film Group, one of our mission is, to empower Filipinos to be to achieve financial prosperity and security. So we're very optimistic if we keep pushing forward, have growing this group, 300 plus nominations this year. That means they all want to help. Being part of the Asia CEO or being nominated is not just about your practices as an organization, but it extends beyond that. So very, very optimistic.
It's fortuitous that I have the last word here. And like Mr. Cornejo, who likes to ask controversial questions, I like to give controversial answers. There is a dark side to 10 quarters of 6.5% growth and 6% growth. And there are two things to think about. Number one, on the global stage, the Philippines is no longer considered, shall we call it, a third world country. That has enormous implications on the matter of aid. Okay? What that means is the amount of donor money that we can get from the richer countries has dropped because we're now in a better category. That's point one. Really? So therefore, there is an increasing challenge to all of you in this room to pick up the slack, the corporate foundations, the CSR issues. The second point I would make is let's look at something like the Gini coefficient, which is the measure of the rich versus the poor. Let's not fall into the trap of measuring well-being by the top 5%. Let's measure it from the well-being of the bottom 5%. And let's ask ourselves, are those bottom 5% better off today than they were 5 years ago? My answer to you, no. Okay? So whereas all of us, including me, can say we're very hopeful, things are better now than they were 5 years ago, that's all factually correct. The facts are correct. But I don't think the truth is. We are worse off today than we were 5 years ago. So let's keep that in mind. I hope that was controversial enough for you, Mr. Cornell.
That's pretty controversial.
And with that,
but we got to keep it in mind.
yeah, sorry. How about a big round of applause to all of our sponsor representatives? Asked now to give a very quick message and offer a toast, the president of Asia CEO Events, Ms. Rebecca Bustamante.
Beautiful media lounge. Isn't this a media lounge or awards night? Wow, isn't it fantastic? Wow, another successful event because of all of you. You are the one who's paying all the bills. That's why we can afford all these things. So thank you very much. Together with our supporters, please come join us for the photo op and also toasting. To all the media, please share the great story, especially all the Circle of Excellence, how they became chosen. Make a noise, make Philippines. Let's all together make the Philippines a first world country. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Cheers, everyone.
Everybody, please
Come
rise.
On, everybody, please stand up and cheers.
Cheers to the Asia CEO Awards. Cheers to all of you, to all of our partners and sponsors. May we ask everyone to please line up on stage first for a quick photo op. Cheers, everybody. I know you all raised your glasses. May we have a photo opportunity, please? All of our executives on stage. Rebecca with Richard, may we have you smile for a photo with your glasses, please? Rebecca, yes. Cheers, everybody. Here we go. Squeeze in, everyone. To all of the partners of the Asia CEO Awards, we thank you and we look forward to October 16 for the actual awards. So yes, smiling for the cameras. Toast has been offered. Thank you for your partnership and support. To all of our media guests today, thank you for making it again. And with that, bottoms up to our executives. Raise your glasses and cheers. Let's build this country. 2018 theme. Thank you again to our title sponsor, PLDT Enterprise. Thank you to our elite sponsors, CNN, Healthway, ICM, iRemit, JLL, Caliber, LBC Business Solutions, Philam Group, Regis, Cytel, Smart, SPI Global, United Neon, and We Energy. Thank you to our official media partners, CNN Philippines, ANC, United Neon, and Self-Made. Our official media partner, PwC. Official hotel partner, Marriott Manila. Our cocktail partner, Trends and Concepts. And our event partner, EADE. Take note of the following dates for the future events of Asia CEO. Asia Diversity Summit on September 25. Asia CEO Awards Night, October 16. Asia Health Summit, November 7. Asia Logistics Summit on November 20. We hope to see you at the rest of the Asia CEO events. For the meantime, before we break out to lunch, we offer you a very talented and young group. After all, with this year's theme of Let's Build Our Country, we are paving the way for them. So here to regale you and serenade you with a very hopeful message, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Baseco Choir. Thank you again to Richard and Rebecca for leading the way for today's Asia CEO Awards press launch. And to everyone for staying, we will be serving lunch very, very shortly. We invite you to please stay for this very heart-touching number. Once again, for a message of hope, we give you the Baseco Choir.
That's waiting out for me, that I call my own. To the dark, to the door, to where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say, oh, sounds easy. They can say. My mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we decide. We're not alive, but the brightest colors fill my head. A million years are keeping me away. A vision of the one I see. A million years is gone, it's gonna take a million years for the world we're gonna make.